Coco Gauff, America's sweetheart, flag bearer for the United States of America, who's been upset. She got beat. She is out. And there was a terrible call for Coco Gauff this morning. So bad that, dare I say, Coco Gauff was cheated.
Victorija Golubic accused Coco Gauff of cheating during a match. And what followed was a complete meltdown that shocked the tennis world. Tears, trembling hands, courtside confrontations, and accusations that spread across the internet like wildfire. Golubic broke down, claiming a point was stolen from her in plain sight, while Coco dismissed everything as nonsense. The controversy ignited instantly. Cameras captured every emotional moment, and within hours, the entire tennis community had chosen sides in a battle that nobody saw coming. Do you think Victorija Golubic had a legitimate reason to accuse Coco Gauff? Or was this just a player unable to handle losing?
I was really patient the whole match. She was going over the time since the first set, and I never said anything. I would look at the umpire, and she didn't do anything. And then, obviously, the crowd started to notice that she was taking long, so you would hear people.
The match between Victorija Golubic and Coco Gauff started like any other professional tennis match, but within minutes, something felt different. The tension wasn't just competitive energy. It was something heavier, sharper, more personal. Golubic wasn't just focused on playing good tennis. She was on edge from the first rally, glancing at the umpire after nearly every point as if she was expecting something unfair to happen. That paranoia became a self-fulfilling prophecy. Midway through the second set, the moment that would define the entire match happened. Coco stretched wide for a ball that appeared to be heading out. Golubic hesitated for a split second, raising her hand slightly as if the point was over. But Coco kept playing, sending a desperation swing back over the net that somehow landed inside the line. The umpire called it Coco's point, and Golubic absolutely lost it. Golubic froze on the spot, her face going from focused to shocked to angry in about 2 seconds. She walked straight toward the chair umpire with a trembling voice and said the ball was out, that she stopped because it was out, that everyone saw it was out. Her frustration echoed through the stadium, but the umpire remained completely unmoved. The decision stood, no review. No second look. Point to Gauff. From across the court, Coco shook her head in disbelief. She said to play the point, that nothing was out, that Golubic stopped early and that's on her. The tone wasn't aggressive, but it was firm and final, dismissive even. That response seemed to break something inside Golubic. Her chest started rising and falling with uneven breaths. The crowd sensed the shift immediately. Something invisible had snapped, and the rest of the match was going to be defined by this one disputed point. Every rally that followed carried a weight that wasn't there before. Crowd murmurs grew louder. Every close call felt like it had the potential to explode into another argument. Golubic's frustration was no longer hidden behind professional composure. It was written plainly on her face, in the sharpness of her movements, in the way she kept glancing at the umpire as if begging for fairness that she felt was being denied. Then it happened. The moment that cameras would replay thousands of times and that would launch 1,000 social media arguments. Golubic missed a shot by inches and immediately turned back to the umpire, her voice cracking as she said, "This is unbelievable," that the umpire was letting Coco cheat her. Those words cut through the entire arena like a knife. The crowd gasped audibly. This wasn't just complaining about a call anymore. This was a direct accusation of cheating. Coco's reaction was instant. She repeated the word cheat with her eyebrows raised in pure disbelief. She said absolutely not. That wasn't what happened, that Golubic needed to stop. But Golubic wasn't backing down. She stood at the baseline gripping her racket so tightly her knuckles went white. She said that point changed the entire match, that everyone saw it, that every single person there knew what happened. The conviction in her voice made it clear she genuinely believed she was being robbed. Coco walked toward the net with her jaw clenched, trying to stay composed. She told Golubic it wasn't her job to call the lines, that Golubic stopped playing and that's on her. The tension between them became so thick that even the commentators fell silent for a moment. Fans watching at home and in the stadium leaned forward, witnessing what felt like the birth of a genuine rivalry happening in real time. This wasn't friendly competition anymore. This was personal. Golubic's hands were visibly trembling. Her breathing was shaky. This wasn't just competitive frustration. This was emotional devastation mixed with a sense of injustice boiling over into something she couldn't control. Neither player knew it yet, but this was the moment the story would explode far beyond the tennis court. This was the spark that turned a simple disagreement into a global controversy that would dominate tennis headlines for days. When Golubic walked to her chair during the changeover, it was obvious she was barely holding herself together. Her shoulders were tight, her jaw locked, and every breath looked like it carried the weight of what she believed was profound unfairness. The crowd went silent, watching and waiting to see what would happen next. Then the cameras caught it. A single shaky exhale, a trembling wipe of her eyes. A moment where frustration broke through and tears started forming. Golubic wasn't just upset. She was unraveling on camera for everyone to see. She leaned forward with her elbows on her knees, staring at the ground as if replaying the disputed point in her head on an endless loop. Her racket hung loosely from her hand. Her lips trembled. She whispered something too soft for microphones to pick up, but the look on her face said everything. Disbelief mixed with betrayal. She genuinely felt something had been stolen from her. Across the court, Coco kept bouncing a ball, trying to stay locked in mentally. But even she couldn't ignore the intensity of the moment. She glanced over several times, her expression shifting between confusion and discomfort. Whether Coco wanted it or not, the narrative forming around them had already taken on a life of its own. This wasn't just about tennis anymore. This was about accusations, emotion, and a story that was writing itself in real time. The commentators spoke cautiously, their voices low and heavy. They said Golubic was clearly devastated, that she felt something was taken from her, that this was going to spark major debate. None of them knew just how right they were. Within hours, this match would be the most talked about thing in tennis, dissected frame by thousands of people who weren't even there. As play resumed, Golubic's emotions spilled directly into her performance. Every shot she hit carried desperate aggression that hadn't been there before. She chased every ball like she was trying to claw back something that had been stolen from her. But frustration is a terrible partner in tennis. It clouds judgment, ruins timing, destroys patience. Unforced errors started piling up. Her footwork faltered. Her shot selection got worse. Each mistake only deepened the anger inside her. At one point, she smacked a ball into the net and immediately spun toward the umpire again, shouting that this was unbelievable. The crowd reacted instantly with gasps and murmurs, fully consumed by the unfolding emotional drama. The umpire responded calmly, asking her to please focus on the play. But Golubic wasn't listening anymore. She was fighting ghosts, battling the point she lost, the fairness she felt denied, the disbelief that this could be happening on such a big stage. Then came the moment that turned into the frozen thumbnail for countless social media posts. Golubic wiping tears from her face as she walked back to the baseline, trying desperately to gather herself before the next serve. She shook her head repeatedly, as if trying to convince herself the match was still salvageable. But the truth was undeniable. Coco Gauff had regained complete control, playing with focus sharpened by all the tension. She moved with quick, clean precision. Every winner she hit felt like a statement. The cameras kept rolling. The crowd kept watching, and the controversy kept growing, feeding on every glare, every tear, every tight-lipped exchange between the players. Nobody knew it yet, but this meltdown was about to explode online bigger and louder than anyone could have predicted. This wasn't just a tennis match anymore. This was a crisis spiraling towards something even more dramatic, and the tennis world was about to lose its mind over it. When the final point ended, the crowd didn't erupt with the usual excitement. Instead, the stadium buzzed with confusion, shock, and unanswered questions. Coco lifted her racket stiffly, acknowledging the crowd, but even she seemed unsure how to react. On the opposite side, Golubic stood frozen, her face flushed, her breathing uneven. The match was over, but the drama was just beginning. As they approached the net for the handshake, cameras zoomed in instantly. After everything that had happened, everyone anticipated something. Coco reached out first, keeping her posture controlled. Golubic hesitated for just a split second, but in a high-profile match like this, a split second was more than enough to send shockwaves across the internet. Their hands touched, but the handshake was stiff, short, and painfully tense. Coco muttered something too low to distinguish, but Golubic's reaction said everything. She pulled her hand back sharply, took a step back, and shot a look that would later become the center of countless screenshots and slow-motion analyses. A look filled with frustration and accusation. Reporters immediately sensed something brewing. They raised cameras higher, zooming in as Golubic approached the umpire once more. Her voice tight and shaky, she told the umpire they saw what happened, that they let Coco take the point. The umpire repeated the same calm response. "The call stands. Please respect the decision." Golubic scoffed, shaking her head with tears forming again. She asked how they could want respect after this. Her voice wasn't loud, but the microphones picked it up clearly. The crowd reacted instantly with whispers, gasps, and stunned murmurs throughout the stadium. Coco, now walking toward her chair, turned around sharply. Her eyes narrowed, jaw clenched. She said Golubic lost the point and needed to stop blaming her. That one line threw gasoline on an already burning fire. Golubic spun toward her with disbelief painted across her face. She insisted Coco knew the ball was out. Coco didn't flinch. She didn't raise her voice. She simply said to play the point. That's the rule. Those words hit harder than any scream could have. The entire arena felt the tension spike all over again. Two players, standing meters apart, locked in an invisible battle. One fueled by heartbreak, the other by frustration at being accused of something she believed she hadn't done. Security and WTA officials approached quietly, forming a subtle but unmistakable presence, not intervening but ready if needed. Golubic tightened her grip on her bag, shoulders trembling. She wasn't just angry, she looked defeated, broken, overwhelmed by what she felt was injustice. As she walked off the court, cameras kept chasing her, zooming in on every tear, every expression, every tremor in her hands. Coco exited shortly after, but unlike Golubic, she didn't look shaken. She looked annoyed, irritated, done with the entire situation. That contrast, Golubic in tears and Coco unbothered, was the spark that would set the internet ablaze within minutes. The match had ended, but online it was just beginning. Within 10 minutes, the first clip hit Twitter. Within 20, it had crossed 100,000 views. By the end of the hour, it was everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, YouTube, even Facebook groups that normally never talked about tennis. Every upload carried electrifying captions asking if Coco cheated, showing Golubic's breakdown, claiming to reveal the truth behind the point. The internet didn't wait for facts. It wanted drama. And this match delivered it in waves. The clip that started the firestorm was Golubic hunched over during the changeover, wiping tears, whispering to herself. The footage exploded across TikTok with dramatic edits, slow music, and red circles drawn around her trembling hands. Then came the raw courtside audio of Golubic's voice, cracking as she told the umpire they were letting Coco cheat her. That one sentence became the center of the digital universe. People clipped it, slowed it down, zoomed in, remixed it, and debated it like it was a criminal trial. Team Golubic formed instantly. Team Coco formed even louder. The battlefield was every corner of the internet. Golubic supporters insisted the ball was clearly out. They posted freeze frames with blurry pixels and arrows pointing at lines. They wrote long threads filled with rage, claiming Coco took advantage and stole the point. Coco supporters clapped back hard. They said Golubic stopped playing and that's her fault, not cheating, just competition. They accused Golubic of blaming her opponent instead of taking responsibility for her own mistakes. The arguments turned so heated that some threads were locked within minutes. Sports journalists jumped in trying to calm the fire, but their attempts failed miserably. Every article trying to explain what actually happened was swarmed with angry comments accusing them of bias. Even former players began chiming in. Some sympathized with Golubic. Others defended Coco with bulletproof conviction. But the moment that sent the drama to an entirely new level came when a slow-motion zoomed-in video claiming to show the exact disputed ball hit 5 million views overnight. It didn't matter that the footage was shaky and likely inaccurate. People treated it like gospel. Memes flooded timelines. Fan accounts took sides. Tennis influencers made breakdown videos that racked up millions of likes. Victorija Golubic accused Coco Gauff of cheating, and the instant regret was visible in her tears, her trembling hands, and her complete emotional breakdown. The controversy exploded online, the tennis world chose sides, and Coco walked away unbothered while Golubic's reputation took a massive hit. This rivalry isn't over, and the next time they meet, something unforgettable will happen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because the drama is far from finished.